everybody. Thank you once again for tuning in to one of my lightsaber video reviews. Right now we are going to be reviewing the SaberForge Venom. And cool thing about this one is that this Venom is a Hero Edition. So it has 2 buttons and 2 colors and 5 different sound fonts. So you can pretty much mix and match however you'd like, and the 2 colors can mix to make a 3rd color out of the 2 primary colors that were mixed together. But we'll explain all of that, and I'll go into all of that once I actually turn the saber on. We're going to go through from the hilt, the emitter all the way down to the pommel, and then we'll turn the saber on. So starting up at the very top, there's a small bit of space, about 1.5 inches, which is just claws right here before the actual emitter starts. So these claws are the version 1 of the Venom, and SaberForge actually came out with version 2, which are a little bit different. They have a little bit of holes. They look a little nicer, I think, but these are pretty freaking awesome too, don't get me wrong. And as you go down, there's some nice little grooves that go all the way around. Here's the screw that holds down the blade plug. Then you move down a little bit, and you have a little window here. And once we turn the saber on, you see that the light comes out from here, along with the actual blade, and it looks pretty fantastic. There's this nice little notch in here where, you can put your hand there. That's for one hand, and then your other hand right there, so you can do a nice 2-handed saber grip. Right there's the other screw. This one holds in the LED. And since we're on this side anyways, moving down a bit to the switch area, here's the kill key. This is what I pull out, and it's going to make the lightsaber turn on. We rotate it. It has 2 buttons, and you'll see the purpose of the 2 buttons once we actually turn them on. Moving down to where the main body part of the saber, where you grab it, is the grenade section. And this is honestly my favorite section. I don't know what about it makes it so fantastic to me, but it sticks out to me, and it's fantastic. Has the Covertech 2.0 knob on there. Pretty nice. Going down until you get to the pommel, and as you see, it kind of has sort of the grenade type pommel on there, which goes nicely with the actual grip, which completes the overall saber. This one, you can unscrew the pommel, just like all of SaberForge's sabers, all the new ones at least. So if I wanted to add a spear extension to this, I can do that. If I wanted to make a staff out of this, get a coupler, I can do that, and it's going to be fantastic. But let's go ahead and turn this on super quick. The first time going through this is going to be just for color, and without the blade, and then I'll put the blade in, and we'll mess with all the other details with the sound fonts and everything. So, pulling out the kill key. So you see the 2 buttons, one of them's blue and one is red, and it kind of alternates in that same pattern. That's because the 2 colors I chose were red and blue, so when you mix them together, that's going to make purple. So let's go ahead and ignite the saber. Igniting it, you got to push the blue button, or the top button. And this is the first sound fonts. It's a light side font. We'll get into all that in a moment, but the blue, very nice blue. Like I said, here are the windows, and it just looks fantastic. Let me angle this. SaberForge blade plug. Pretty great. Alright, and I really like the way the light pulsates. I don't know, that's just kind of me. I know it does that with the Viridian and Obsidian soundboards, and you could pick how quickly it pulsates, but this one it comes preset, and you can't really change any settings. That's one of the things on here. You can't change any of the settings, such as sensitivity, or basically the sensitivity and the pulsating of the LED. So in order to switch this, you got to rotate it like you're grabbing a motorcycle and revving the engine. So, okay, come on. There we go. Sometimes it wants to work for me. But that's the red. It's a very nice red. It goes great with the dark side fonts. But and the combined color purple. Okay, it's pretty nice. So let me go ahead and turn this off. And let me put the blade in so you guys can see that a little better. One thing with the blade plug is it is really long. So if you're ordering an extra one, I would go with a 3-inch one because you're going to need it for the windows mainly. And this one actually I bought separately because it's dual toned and it fits a lot nicer with the Saber because of the way the coloring is. But let's go ahead and turn the Saber on. So this is the first font, the light side font. So let me push the button, and to switch through the fonts you gotta push the red button or the bottom button. So, and that's the font that I turned on the first time. So that's the blue, fantastic blue. Here's some of the sounds. It does have the flash on clash, and the flash on clash goes to the purple. So it just turns on the red LEDs, or if you're on red, it turns on the blue to create the purple. So that's that. It does have the blaster bolt deflection. You just push the red button once. And if you hold it down, it does sort of a saber lock type sound, which I think is pretty awesome. That's pretty much it for this font. So let me switch just so it's a little bit more appropriate. But so you can tell, like I said, red button.
Essence, episode 1.
So this is a second font. This is a bit more of a dark side font, and I'll just go ahead and turn it on so you guys can see. Dark side font, deeper hums. Everything is a lot deeper. It sounds more ominous to allow that dark side to just flow right through you. But blaster bolt, same thing. But the cool thing in this is for the dark side fonts, instead of having a saber lock, it does more of a Sith lightning on saber type of sound, which if you watched episode 2 and episode 3, you know what that sounds like. And probably some of the Clone War episodes I don't remember off the top of my head. So let's change it over to purple now. And oh, sorry, I forgot to show you what that sounds like. That's what the clash sounds. So alright, going on to the next one.
Essence, episode 2.
And if you notice while I'm pushing, in order to change it, you have to push the button twice, because if I push it again,
Essence, episode 2.
it just re-announces the one that you're on, just to make sure. So it's just kind of like a fail-safe, I think. And I mean, it's pretty nice, that way you know which font you're using. This is also a dark side font, so let's go ahead and turn this on. Personally, I like this one. This is probably my second favorite font, mainly because I think it sounds like Count Dooku's from episode 2, or episode 3. But okay, just motion, clash, blaster. You can see for each font, every sound is different, ever so slightly. And like I said, since this is the dark side, it has sort of the Sith lightning on lightsaber. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Essence, 501 commit.
Now this one's a light side font. This one's a little bit different, but it's also very similar to the first one that we were messing around with. Real different. We'll start with the blaster bolt this time. So, and I'll show you a really neat thing once I go through all of them about the blaster bolt. But let's hold the button down. So like I said, saber lock type of deal. Pretty standard font. Let's going on to the next one. And this one is actually my favorite. And let me play that again in case you didn't hear it. About this one honestly reminds me about the video from Star Wars: The Old Republic, where the Sith are basically invading the Jedi Temple, and there's that whole battle when the Sith just turn on their lightsabers. This is what it reminds me of, but this is honestly my favorite one. And if you guys want to comment in the comment section below which one's your favorite one, go ahead and do so. But let's turn it on. Okay. Okay. And super cool thing about the Saber lock or the Sith lightning is all you have to do is hold down the button and you can let go, and it does it pretty much infinitely. So you can mess around with it a little bit. Obviously it's not very, makes it a little too much noise to me waving it around still like that, but that's another neat thing. So let's talk about the blaster bolt deflection super quick, because I know I mentioned something about that. If you push the button down, it makes the thing. But if you keep pushing it down while moving it, I don't have to push the button anymore. And it still does the noise, which I think is pretty cool. So you can make a lot of cool stances. It still makes the noise. And one unique thing about the Hero Edition Sabers from SaberForge is it includes a little section for you to upload music from. So same thing, like switching from from the fonts on here. Called Saber Tracks, and you can pretty much upload music and I guess just play around with it. The lightsaber itself does not ignite, but you can hear music out of here, and it comes with 2 songs on here. I still don't know what they are, mainly because I haven't Shazammed them or something, but you start it the same way you ignite the lightsaber, pushing the blue button, and this just keeps going, like the whole song goes. And if you want to go to the next one, you push the, sorry, not the blue button, the red button. So just some nice calm music. But that's it. Those are the 2 ones. And in order to stop it, hold down the blue button. That's your turning off the lightsaber. And if you want to go back to the original one, there you go. You're all the way up at the very front. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it was a lot of information. This is probably the most extensive one I've done so far, mainly because this is the first one I've done that has sound in it. Some of the things that this came with was the blade. This is a 32-inch V4 blade with the screw-on tip. Came with a blade plug, not this one in particular, but came with a blade plug, Allen wrench, and since this is a Hero Edition, it came with the smart charger. So you can plug this in. There's a little light, you can't see it there, that turns on when you plug it in to let you know if the Saber's done charging or not. And that's pretty much all I got for the Saber. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please drop me a like and a comment and subscribe if you'd like. And I'll see you guys in the next video.